Happy Saturday to all. Your normal guest, Beth Slazak, has been replaced by me. It is not an updated Folgers commercial. For those of you of a certain age, you'll remember that we've replaced your normal Sipsy host with this. Let's see if anyone notices. So welcome, welcome, welcome. You've picked a wonderful session to enjoy. Donna and Walt bring such color and life to the world and to bring it out in others. And so I'm not going to even introduce them because they are wonderful at introducing themselves and introducing what they'll be doing today. I'm going to stop sharing here and let's get to the magic that is Donna and Walt. And we're going to go back. Sorry about that. Here we go. Look at that. Take it away, please.
Good morning and welcome to What If. For those of you that don't know us, Walt and I have been working together at Sipsy forever, and we're delighted to bring an arts experience to you and with you today. Walt?
I'm Walt Stevenson, and Donna and I have been working together forever. And we designed an art experience to bring to you today. Gee, I think I messed that up. But really the focus is on you. And we want to help you bring out the art inside you and do with it what you will. If you'd like to make it very practical, that's great. If you'd like to change your own self-actualization pathway, that's fine. So it's really an open system. We're just here to fool with the arts and you.
So today we're going to look at visionizing. And it's actually something that Sid Parnes coined, a title that he coined years ago. And we've based our program on that today, using our imaginations and intuition to create new pathways to our future. And essentially, we're going to do what Sid did when he brought people to the Epcot Center years and years ago. They would spend, I think, 3 days at Epcot, and he would guide people through visionizing and visualizations. And then they would go on little excursions to different parts of Epcot. And their job was to collect images, collect I don't know, colors and things that resonated with them, and then apply it to a wish or a problem. And then they'd go out on another excursion and come back in and take those collections and apply. Because as you go on any excursion in your life or anything really, you're the vessel, you're the filter of what's happening. So as we have, it looks like 20 plus people on the call today, we can all watch the same thing, but take 20 plus things out of it. So we're going to go on a bunch of excursions. For those of you that are here looking at what you might bring to a client next week or the week after or next month, you could actually just take one of these modules and explore that with a client in an hour, or you could take the whole day as we're doing and make a collection of experiences for folks. Walt?
Oh, could we go to the next slide? And so, as Donna said, our processes for today are we're going to travel on a series of art excursions and ask you to apply your imagination and intuition to your wishes. So we're going to start with wishes, but as we move through, we've got a pathway, but you could swerve off the pathway if it's important to you to do that. So we will have prompts about different forms, genres in art, and then we will ask you to build some response to that on your own piece of art. And so as throughout the day, you will be building on that piece of art. And we hope that through experiencing the art, that you will explore your own imagination and intuition.
And that's right, Jim. You can go right to the next slide. Thank you. So this is, we hope that you've come with something in mind, but if you haven't, we know you're going to think of something as we move forward here today. We're going to explore and apply problem solving, visionizing the arts as a tool and a metaphor, and certainly action planning for you to say, how am I taking all of these things in? How am I making meaning of it right now? And how am I going to apply? What if? Next slide. Thank you. So go ahead, Walt.
I'll say a bit about Alex Osborne, and then maybe Donna wants to also. As Donna said, our work today is prompted by Sid's work and his publication of the book called Visionizing. It's one of the books that we didn't do in the book chat. So we'll talk a little bit about it, as Donna has done already, based on his Epcot experiences. He was really interested in looking more at creativity and applied creativity as more than just an intellectual kind of thing. So the research up to this point was primarily looking at, like describing what's going on and so on in models and behavioral models and so on. And what Sid was really interested in is the applied part, cued from Alex Osborne. So we're going to explore that today. We go to the next slide. So for those of you who may not know what Sid and B Parnes, and then that's Osborne's grandson there. What's his first name? I forget. Anyway,
John.
so
John.
that's right, John. Anyway, so that's B and Sid. So you see their pictures. And we decided for this session, we wanted to not live out the legacy, but to refer to the legacy and connect the legacy to what we consider the contemporary work that we're doing.
This is from Letters to Juliet, which this quotation speaks to me. What and if are two words as non-threatening as words can be, but put them together side by side, and they have the power to haunt you for the rest of your life. What if? What if? What if? And so now I'm going to share my screen and read a children's book, actually called What If, to you today and with you today. What If by Samantha Carr, illustrations by Mike Curato. With a pencil and paper, I write and draw art to create many stories that come from my heart. But what if that pencil one day disappeared? I'd fold up the paper till stories appeared. And what if that paper was no longer there? I'd chisel the table and then carve the chair. And what if there wasn't a chair here at all? I'd chip and I'd peel and I'd paint on the wall. And what if there wasn't a wall anymore? I might build a story from boards in the floor. Without any floor, I could still use the land and sketch out a tale in the dirt with my hand. I could still shape the leaves. I could still sculpt the snow. I could still plant the flowers and make kingdoms grow. Without any land, I would still use the light, invent shadow stories the sun would ignite. If there was no light, I would still use my voice to sing out my stories, to chant and rejoice. I'd still have my body to twist and to bend, to dance out my stories, beginning to end. If I had nothing, but still had my mind, there'd always be stories to seek and to find. If I know nothing but one bit of fate, as long as I live, I will always create. As long as I live, I will always create. The end. So I'm wondering if we could take a moment, and I'll just review these pages for a moment. If you could put in the chat something, a phrase, a color, an image, a movement that you collected from that story, just something that spoke to you. And I will just flip through the pages again. And if you can add to the chat, that would be terrific.
Love the comments in the chat. Keep them coming. Great. What if? Think about your wish. If I had nothing, I would still create.
So let's review some of the things in the chat. Walt, do you want to look at those?
Sure. Got some great comments. And as the chat progressed, people got a little deeper. Parents are letting this happen, peeling off paint and revealing the golden sun and its rays. Resourcefulness. In the shadows, there's a light. What the world is capable of. Movement is creative. Colors, colors, colors. Magic wand. What's hidden becomes revealed. Creativity is destiny. Emergence, glitter, escape constraints through imagination. Unicorns love that the Nishwatan castle was used. Creativity comes from constraints. Thanks all.
Yes, and again, this is called What If? And the author is Samantha Berger. And I just put that in the chat. A lovely story that just helps you, if something doesn't work, try what's behind it or under it or over it and keep discovering, and peeling back. And that's what we're going to do today. We're actually going to push and pull and nudge for you to absolutely just see what the multiple things that you can create. I got the images so beautifully captured for storytelling through Kindle. So if you buy a book on Kindle, you can show it page by page on your computer. So we share in my school, we share stories with children in that way, or we have certainly during Zoom and virtual learning that we did last year, not this year. But you do get it all together that way, and it's a lovely image.
Donna, I want to share a thought with everybody about using children's book. this has kind of been a tradition of the sessions that Donna and I put on. And I'm thinking, so, yeah, I understand that. But then I thought about it and I said, this is where mindset starts to be developed in children's books. It's one of the places. And, think about the what if mindset that not only this children's book is suggesting, but for us as adults, the what if mindset. And we'd like to have you play with that today as we move through the various excursions and activities and reflections.
Wonderful. Thanks, Jane. Next slide. So today, as we work together, we'd love you to lead with love from your heart. When you go into the breakout rooms, speak in the I perspective, listen for understanding. I love this in art, right? Move at the speed of trust. Because sometimes art is personal, and you need to trust those folks around you as you speak, and that's just fine. One of the things we love, as we talk about at SIPSI all the time, is to defer judgment. Really just try, because as I said earlier, we're going to take 5 different excursions. And within the excursions, we're going to take some detours to actually push, and stretch a little more. And just don't say, oh, right, I don't know if this is working for me. And I really can't tell if I can ever use this with a client. Am I wasting my day? Whatever it is, just allow yourself to go there if you can and dive in. And then at the end of the day, we're going to try to look at all of it and try to make meaning out of it. But just allow yourself to go there if possible. So this is challenge by choice. So we're hoping that you will choose to dive in. If something is personal, you need not share, but we're hoping that you will capture it somehow, that you will make note of it, you will realize it, and just keep pushing yourself within it, so that at the end, if you choose to make meaning out of it, you can. So those would be the things that we hope you'll agree to move forward with as we go. And I think the next slide, Walter, is about what we're going to bring to the day.
Right. And so I would invite you to look at this list. And if you didn't look at it before, gather some of these things, look around. The exact material is not the important thing. It's the fact that you're going to work with the material. So I would even suggest, even if you have some like traditional art things, think about things that you say, well, there's no way I could use that umbrella stand in an art piece. That's something to pick. Stretch yourself. Move out of the crayon, the marker. Look at dimension. We're going to go into different kinds of dimension. Look at movement and so on. In Lego Serious Play, we say, try not to have a meeting with yourself, but stay on that what if edge that isn't pre-prepared, but is a little bit risky. So we've got art, paper, markers, watercolor, scissors, glue, assorted transformable objects, whatever in the hell that means, and a journal and other stuff. Also, we talked about maybe you want to have a basket or a box or a space that as we go through this session, we're going to ask you to journal and make notes and build things. A space or a box that you can put those in so that you can build on it, whether it's a physical build or a mental build throughout the day. And at the end, we're going to have a museum where you can display your work for the day at your will if you want to share it.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to invite you right now to take 2 minutes and walk around your house. Whether it's gathering markers or paper that you have in your office, you will need either some kind of journal or something on which to write and with which to write. And anything that, again, you're just collecting now, anything that strikes your fancy that you can just put together in front of you today, old magazines, catalogs, whatever it is, and just put them around you. So we're going to take 2 minutes to gather some things and come right back. And we'll just play a little song while you're doing that. Ready, go. It's head real.
I have to leave at 11:15, and I feel so bad that I didn't realize how long it was.
That's quite all right. We're loving having you this morning. It's not a problem.
I was so excited when I saw it. I never looked how long it was. I had to take my husband to something.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a problem. We're delighted to see you this morning.
It's great to see you. Really great to see you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, gather. We'll be right back. Okay, let's start to gather again if we can.
Would you like to go back to the slides?
We would, right to wish finding, please.
Okay.
Let's just make sure everyone's back. And as we start this bit, we'll ask that you take out your journals or whatever you're writing on and with, and this will be a free write. So we'll prompt you with some questions and give you some time to reflect and think and answer the questions. Again, just whatever comes to mind.
Do this kind of a prompt for an opening stretch about your wishes. If you brought a wish with you or a series of wishes, great to use those and we can stretch those. If you didn't, we'll give you some prompts and you can come up with some wishes.
So as you open your journal or open whatever you have to write with, just start free writing. on answering this question. What might you like to do, have, or accomplish at work, home, for your family, your organization, or your life?
What might you like to have? As you know, see if you can defer judgment, let it flow into stretch. We will never ask you to share anything that you don't want to share. So please feel that your thoughts are private unless you make them public.
As you look at the different roles you have in your life, whether it's at work or at home with your family, your organization, your volunteer work, or your life, what might you like to do better in any of those above respects? What might you like to do better or improve upon?
Think about the why nots and the what ifs. We have good word that George Bernard Shaw said, other people see things and say why, but I dream things and say, why not? Try the why not.
Think about the moments that you may have discovered through the pandemic, whether you took more walks or journaled more or reflected more or something, how you spent your time. How do you extend or stretch that into anything you might like to do or to have or to accomplish?
Did you meet some neighbors that you'd never met before? Did you do something for somebody that you've never done before? What did you notice in your backyard or in your yard or on your street that you'd never noticed before?
What more might you, your family, your organizations like to give or to get out of life? What more would you like to get out of life? Materially, physically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. Again, that's a what if stretch. What more? What if? What if I got more out of life?
Why not? If you've got a flow, that's great. You don't have to listen to us. But if you need a prompt, walk around in your life, walk around in your imagination. What happens? Walk around in your life, walk around in your imagination.
Are there goals that are unfulfilled? Aspirations, wishes, desires, dreams? Dreams for yourself, your loved ones, your work? What if? I wish.
make many wishes.
What do you wish you had more time for, more energy for, more resources for? Again, in any of the roles you play in your life. Work, home, family, life in general. Now, perhaps start your sentences with what if? What if I did this? What if we tried that? I wish this could happen. I wish that. Perhaps try to put yourself in the position of the little girl in the story who doesn't have a name that said, what if this happened? Then I would peel the paper from the wall and make a radiant sun. What if the pencil disappeared? What if? So take some of your wishes and put what ifs to those. And see if you can view it with a child's lens. Perhaps review what you've written and maybe pull out a couple of ideas and just keep writing about them. What if, what if, what if? Now perhaps review your wishes, the things you've written, and see if you want to combine a couple of them. See if any of them connect, any of the words or images that you've written. And rewrite those things that speak to you. After you've reviewed, Jane will go to the next slide. I'm going to ask you to take a little detour. We're going to ask you to make a long list of your strengths. What is it that you bring to the world? What is it that you bring to the world? In personality, in commitment, in emotional intelligence, in physicality, in drive, in intelligence, whatever it is. Flatter yourself and make a long list of the things that you do well. As you're making the list, think about your dearest friend and how they would compliment you and add their words to your list. Think about moments that people have complimented you, whether it's family members, colleagues. Put those on your list. Now just take a moment to look at your wishes and your strengths. And maybe by drawing some arrows or connecting something, what might connect? Or using your strengths, what new wishes might you have? So finish what it is you're writing now, please. Any last thoughts? I'm just going to open it up if anyone has anything to share for a minute, and then we're going to go into breakout rooms for a few minutes with 4 of you in each. And just take a moment to, again, you don't have to share anything you don't want to, but share perhaps about your process, what you were thinking, did you push yourself to really push on wishes and really stretch in thinking about complimenting yourself in your list of strengths, and what that process was like for you?
Or just do a free share, whatever is on your mind.
Mhm.
Okay, can I be the daring one?
Yeah.
Bottom line, I started from a point of scarcity and ended up at a point of abundance. And what happened in between is I realized which of my strengths became also my weaknesses that were holding me back from thinking from the point of abundance. That was big to me because, quite honestly, I never thought of it that way. So thank you very much for this. It's wonderful.
Great.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you, Harry. Is this your first time, Harry, at SIPSI?
Well, you can put a 1, but then put several zeros after it.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so much, Harry. That's so wonderful.
thank you.
Yeah. Any other comments before we go to the breakout rooms? We'll only spend 5 or 6 minutes there. Just thought it would be good to talk.
Well, it looks like we're ready to go to the breakout rooms.
Hey.
Maybe 4 or 5 in each and a random sort.
Yeah. Great. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. And thanks, Jane. Okay.
Hey, Faith, what's that behind you? What's behind you?
All.
A wall. Oh, my
How come
God.
mine is backwards? I still can't figure that out.
Donna, it's a statement.
Well,
By God. Donna, what you could do is go back to where your image is.
There it is.
and click on it, and then it should give you a way to rotate.
Okay.
But
Well,
Donna, I like it like that. It's wonderful.
thank you. Well, the truth is, it is straight on my when it imports, it goes this way. It's
Yeah.
very funny to me.
Well, a lot of them say that, Donna. A lot of them say that,
Yeah, a lot of them say that.
So while we were, I chatted privately with I believe it's the Korean name, in the Korean. I think those are Korean characters.
Yeah.
Just to
Mhm.
make sure, I asked if that person would turn on their camera, and they said they couldn't do it. But I asked them if they're okay, and they're okay. So
Great. Perfect.
I've found that there are some people, especially in things like this, that, and I'm one of those, that if I'm deep in thought and writing, again, my body contorts and my face contorts, and I feel much more vulnerable if I know that people are looking at me while I'm already feeling a bit more exposed. And so if I'm doing something introspective, I will often do a camera off.
So you're not into the fact that this is a session with a subtitle of contortion.
I'm a rebel, Walt.
So that could be the case, or perhaps also they just don't want their face showing up in the
In the video.
recordings. Yeah, so they just
Or they're working in the bathroom,
That too. Yes, there's all sorts of reasons why there's there's bandwidth that's sometimes a problem with me, that it
Oh, well, you just wear stretchy pants. I found if you wear stretchy pants, bandwidth is not a problem.
you don't know here. And the eyes aren't the only thing to have gone.
I gotcha.
Gotcha.
What was the other thing I was gonna say?
Is it going okay? Are you?
It's going okay. I'm just navigating.
Yeah,
And I
you're
think
doing
we're good.
great.
Are we giving you enough cues and so on?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, and now we didn't play the YouTube video.
That's
Not
next.
yet. Coming up next.
Okay,
That's our first excursion. Well, actually, it isn't. It's our art excursion.
Well, it is actually our first excursion, Walter.
I see. It's our first excursion, they say.
This was all prep, and now we're diving into the first excursion.
okay.
So that will be in.
All I know is when I printed out the run a show, it printed sideways, and it's a little difficult to read it.
And you don't see the whole W. That's disturbing.
Hat.
Hat eye.
Hat eye.
Hat eye.
That's high.
Faith, what makes you chuckle?
Well, right now it's my sister's in the other room,
Uh-huh.
so
And she makes you chuckle?
she's on the phone with her friends, and I can hear their entire conversation, which is why I'm in all the time. So I'm just
Perfect.
What is the age?
my sister turned 13 last week or 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And do you mind if I ask what is your age?
I'm 17.
Okay. So a 13-year-old makes you chuckle. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Their conversation is just
Absolutely. Yeah, it's true.
It reminds me of that commercial where the two kids are lying on the blanket out like in a field or something. And the older one, who's like maybe 2 years older than the other one, says, "Oh, when I was young, we used to da 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 da, but we don't do that anymore,
Okay. What do you think? They've been in there for 5.
Yeah.
Do you want to give
And
them
we're
a
gonna do Chihuly close to 10 o'clock, like our schedule says, right?
Well, yeah, we are, because that's,
Yeah, it looks like we're doing fine with time.
okay.
So you just there'll be that minute countdown. So you just let me know whenever you want me to start the breakup process.
I think
yeah, press
Now?
it. Yeah, thank you.
You got it.
And then you could put up the first excursion, the next slide, when we come back in.
and then I'd like scrambled eggs with toast on the side,
I'm sorry, sir. The kitchen is closed.
Oh no.
So is mine.
I haven't even properly refilled my coffee in a bit. And that's gonna be some bad news around here.
You know, that's the old Zoom view. You know, it's the coffee cup bottom nose, we call it in Zoom language. Yeah. Okay. Everybody put up their coffee cup for their nose, and now smell the roses. Yeah, that's definitely there you go. Jane.
You can tell that cup was on empty because I wouldn't have been able to hold it to my lips that long.
Well, you can tell there's Chill talking to the last minute too.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Not coming right in. Here we go.
We're so glad you're back.
Here we go.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for diving into that conversation. We so appreciate it. And now we're going to go, and this was all preliminary, right? An hour of what if and thinking about what if. And now we're going to dive into our first, what Sid would have done as an Epcot excursion. And this Epcot excursion is art. And we're going to visit, and we're doing this actually through video and YouTube. We're doing a visit with Dale Chihuly. Dale Chihuly is a glass artist extraordinaire. And we'd love for you to just keep your wish and your strengths in mind, anything you've had in your conversation. Just keep that in your head and keep your journal by you. And as you view this video, just keep track of, in however fashion you wish, just keep track of what strikes you, what catches your attention, any phrases that he says, any colors that you see, any motions that the workers are doing, whatever it is, just keep track of it. Don't try to make meaning out of it. Just say, oh, that strikes me. I'm going to keep track of that. What do you think, Walter?
I think it's good.
Okay.
All right, and give thumbs up or thumbs down in your screen, depending on the volume of this, because life. So let's see what we got.
All right, good, beautiful. Sand and fire and put it together, and you have glass, and it turns into a liquid. Imagine the sand turns into a liquid, and then you stick a pipe in there and gather it up like honey and bring it out and blow down there, and you blow a shape that over the centuries glass blowers have learned to make it into an incredible array of forms. And I've been lucky enough to come along at the right time, at the right place, to be able to expand many of the forms that were made throughout this 2,000-year history. I was using just human breath going down into this miraculous material, blowing it up, pushing its limits, making it as thin as I could, getting it so hot that it would almost collapse and begin to move. So I was pushing the edge of thinness and collapsibility and making new forms. The baskets did evolve into the sea forms, and the sea forms evolved into the Persians. But, a series like the Venetians will come in, which are totally different. Or the chandeliers, which came out of nowhere. It requires a totally different type of thinking. I mean, we're not talking about objects here. We're talking about 12 or 1,400 pieces of glass making one object. And really, what I've always been interested in is space. Even when I made the cylinders, the single object cylinder, or the macchias, my interest was always in space. So I was thinking not of the object itself, but how the object would look in a room. The chandeliers don't really relate to that evolution of the basket C forms Persians, probably. So, you know, as an artist, I just make, I just work, things just come out. So it's not that you're constantly searching for something new. It's just that something new comes. This is important. Make them as big as we can. Bigger, the better. I don't know why I work so large. I very often push a series to its maximum size. I think sometimes I do it just to keep the glassblowers at the very edge of their technical ability, to keep the tension high, to make it exciting, to make it so that we don't know whether it's going to break or not break. If you know exactly what you're doing and you can make it every time, it's not going to be interesting. It has to have this tension if the pieces are going to be good. And so we constantly push ourselves. You know, I push them, they push me. I try to get them to go beyond what they can do. It's more interesting that way.
Thank you.
So maybe you would take a moment and just note, however you're noting, some of your favorites from that clip. Sayings, concepts, ideas, practices. What are your favorites? Just collect them. Collect some of his words or your words, some of the sentences, impressions, themes, things that made you stretch. Instances where it prompted you to do some what-ifing. And of course, at the end of the session today, there will be a test. And one of the questions will be to spell Chihuly's name.
And then if you take some of your what if statements and put his thinking around glass on those. He talked about expanding and blowing it up, pushing the limits, pushing the edge, making new forms.
Human breath.
Thinking, right? Mm-hmm.
Creation from human breath.
Bigger the better. Push it to its maximum size. Take any of those against your wishes. You can go to the next slide, Jane. Thanks. So that video was called Playing with Fire. You can keep going. Yep. No, back one. Yeah, thanks.
There.
So review your reflective words. And now it's time to actually take all of the things that, or some of the things that you create, that you gathered before, and pick a wish, something that you've pushed towards. We're going to ask that you actually make a visual representation of your wish. What does it look like? What's its structure? And this is the scaffolding because you'll be adding to this over time or through the day. So just create something that's the scaffolding artistically that represents your open wish. And use any of the materials, or you may find that what you've collected, you need a couple of more things to do that. But we're going to take a little bit of time now to create that wish. But we'd really like you to have something symbolic and something tangible in a little bit. So how are you doing? It's hard to see everyone and see it. How are you doing? You get the instructions? Yes, I'm seeing nods. Good, thank you. And it's just going to be time to dive in and see what your wish can actually look like in an art form, or a symbolic form, or a scaffolding form. Walter, do you have anything to add there?
No, 10-4, very good.
Okay, so let's go and create. How many minutes are we going to take on this, Walter? About 10?
Yes. If you turn off your screen, just listen to us and we'll call you back.
Perfect. How's everyone doing for time? You good? Remember, we're going to keep adding to this after each excursion, so it's not done yet. It's just in process. You could let us know in the chat if you need 2 or 5 more minutes. That would be great. Thanks, Harry. Thanks, Renee. Okay. Lovely. So people are getting done.
Looks like we might be ready to move on soon.
Okay. Great. Everyone's set. All right. So now we're going to model the next detour. And if you could stop sharing, if you don't mind, Jane, so we can see people, that would be great. So the next is a little improv game. And we're going to ask that you'll go into breakout rooms and do this, but we'll practice it. Jane, I don't know if there's another title for this, but I've always called it Alphabet Soup. And what happens is that we're going to actually comment on what we've created, but we're going to go through the alphabet doing so. So I might say, all right, Walter, I created a box that starts to look to me like it's a collage. And then Walter would begin his next sentence about his process with a B, because I started mine with A. So Walter, what's yours? What would you like to say, starting with B?
Because of this Chihuly film, I've expanded my air pressure.
Thank you. And would someone like to volunteer to start a sentence with C that talks about their piece? Yardina?
Carefully, I crafted pipe cleaners as a scaffold.
Thank you. And someone with a D? We're just practicing. We're going to do it in breakout rooms.
Darn. Delighting, sorry.
Go ahead.
Delighting myself with what I created.
Thank you. And Olwen, do you have an E for us?
Egads. Wasn't ready.
Perfect. Perfect. So we're going to ask you to do two things in the breakout rooms. First is to actually see if you can push yourselves, the four of you or so, to actually go through the whole alphabet discussing your personal pieces. However you want to react to it, to respond to it, to talk about your process, to talk about your exploration or how you dove into this thing. And then take a moment and push each other to say, and what if I added this? Or what if I tried that? So two pieces. One is push yourselves to go through alphabet soup and just to see if you collect anything else around that. And push yourselves into a new space, and then push yourself to say, what other things might I add? So yes. Okay. So Walter put in the chat what we're doing. Jane will put us in the chat for about 10 minutes. And we'll check in with you to see if 10 minutes is good. How's that? Okay. All right. Jane's giving us a pause.
No, that is not the right thought.
And we'll see you in a few minutes.
Oops, I think I lost my breakout room.
Yeah, we're gonna go again. It skipped back on me. Here we go.
Oh, it's my fault, not my sorry.
No, we're gonna do it one more time. Just okay, and you.
Here we go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Just perfect.
Yes, I had a participant who asked to not go into their breakout room. They weren't ready to share, and so I had to scooch some rooms around and I'm not able to figure out how to take somebody out of a room without deleting the whole room.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
if you go to the room
Yeah.
and look, I can't remember where it is, but you can say remove, and it's just by the person. It's by the person.
Okay, because I did that and it was saying exchange. I didn't have remove as an option, which is so interesting. I'm just gonna hover. I'm not gonna hit anything.
Yeah. We probably should say, if you're in the breakout room and you don't want to share, that's fine. We forgot to say that again.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So I have a move
Yeah.
to or exchange. So what I just had to do was delete the room and then create 2 rooms to move. So that's what sort of was my.
It's quite all right. We're not worried about a thing.
I mean, it was a slick professional move as far as I could see.
I appreciate your live.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're at least diving in. Hedria did leave at, because she has to go off to the new thing, whatever she's taken her husband to. But I think people are, and we lost the men.
Yeah.
We lost 2 people, but
Well, we
then-
lost 3.
Hedria too. Yeah.
Actually, we've lost 4. But hey, that's the kind of session this is. Oh my God, they want me to draw something? Oh my God, I'm getting out of here. Now next they're going to have me do improv. Oh no.
So I've got a 3 roomer, a 4 in a room, and then 2 and 2. So
I wonder if I can see the breakout room. I don't know. Oh, I can. Oh, Donna, you and I, if you go down, you can see the breakout rooms. I mean, you can, and actually we could pop in. I don't think we need to.
You could pop in if you wanted to. And so Laura was the one who wanted to be
private.
Yep.
That's great. It's fine. I mean, there's no state, like test or anything that people are collecting time units for here. Although we might want to think about that.
What do you mean?
Donna, you always get nonsense when you ask me what I mean.
I know that.
Generally, my position is if you can't go with the flow, then, go do something else. But that's a kind of like asshole approach, I think.
So Walter, I'm wondering, because we're taking a long time with this, if we should maybe speed it up. And
Okay,
then
it's fine.
I
think there's no problem if we ended up early.
Is there a problem with that, Jane? Do you think? I mean, we're taking our time to have people dig deep, but I'm worried if we're at that spot of digging too deep that they're going to leave, and and we could speed it up and do more collect, add, collect, add, and fit more in before lunch, which is fine with me if it's okay with you.
I think I'm always of the mindset, at least for myself, that if I'm doing things solely because the time that I wrote down I was going to do it, that's one thing. Because that's the way it's always been done, is the worst answer in the world.
Right.
And of course, if this is a group that is in flow or is of a mindset and skill set that this is coming a bit more naturally or faster, certainly I think, I mean, I'm talking to the experts here. I would say a longer break, a longer lunch break, or ending earlier.
Well, I
think hold the crowd.
Yeah.
I think, let's say I'm looking at my clock. My clock says 7:30, so that's 10:30.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if we hit to end at 12:30, we could do what you're saying, Donna. I mean, we could pop it more and be
Push
done by 12:30, and then we don't have the lunch break.
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay.
But I'd say at least let's do make the visualization shorter,
Okay.
and then do the music right away.
Right.
Pop in, add to the thing, pop it in, add to the
Okay.
thing, and see
Okay.
how fast the pace goes. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe making the pace faster on the independent work and so on, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because, we've still got some, I think, pretty fascinating art forms for them to look at and put in their thing.
Right. Oh, there's no question. Yeah, there's no question.
But we could just go
we've
faster.
we've also got a lot of people that are facile with this language on the
Right.
call. They're they're old SIPSy people, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as, they won't fire us from the foundation if we make this a little faster, I'm good.
So Faith, would you fire us if we did that?
No, I won't do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faith.
It's SIPSy where time means nothing. SIPSy is
where time means nothing and time is everything.
the official timepiece of SIPSy is the Dolly clock, is it not? Really? Is it?
Walt, I'm curious as to why you asked only Faith and not me.
Because I don't think you have any power in the organization.
He's been here longer than I have. Like, I've only been here for like a week.
He's purely a trophy figurehead. Walt.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
trophy figurehead. That's
Faith,
really all it
Yeah.
is.
Faith, you need to
solely a
trust
figurehead.
my premonition. You need to trust my premonition.
He's
Solely a figurehead.
Okay.
Faith,
So
have you driven a golf cart yet?
Not this year, no.
No, not you. Faith. Has Faith driven a golf cart?
Well, not for SIPSy, but yes, I have.
So my whole opinion of Mike is because I've ridden with him when he drives a golf cart.
This is Faith's first SIPSy, Walt. So we are influencing her as we speak.
Hit me with that again. Faith's first SIPSy. Faith's first SIPSy. Faith's first SIPSy. Faith's
Walter.
first SIPSy.
Walter, we're
Yes.
going to give them the 1 minute warning and we're going to push this thing. You ready?
Okay,
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Faith is terrified.
Faith's first
Don't
SIPSy.
be-
Faith's first
Just
SIPSy.
fasten your seatbelt, Faith, because you need to with Walter.
All right, are you ready for me to bring him back?
Yes, we are.
All righty.
Oh, let me comb my hair. Oh, no,
Okay.
the other way.
Get yourself ready.
You'll notice how Donna and I have the same hairdo.
Yes, Faith. Walt has sat with me when I drive the golf cart, and I mean, I've only hurt him like 5 times. I'm not sure
Only.
what he's complaining about.
Yeah.
How many of those were on purpose?
My arm used to be straight.
4.
My arm used to be straight, Faith. You know.
Oh, poor Faith.
Yes.
Faith,
What you're
I'm just
saying
kidding.
is
I
never
didn't
be
hurt
in-
him 5 times.
Never be in a golf cart when Mike drives. Okay, got it.
Or around it. Don't be around it.
Actually,
Okay.
Faith, the one that you really have to look out for is Ray.
Right.
Ray
Here's
is
Ray.
the one you really have to look out for.
Here's Ray, you know.
Okay. So just
He actually tries to breeze, to touch lightly fire hydrants. That's what he tries to do.
well then.
Okay, welcome back. So first, how did the alphabet soup go? Did you make it? Yes, seeing some thumbs up and nods. Excellent. Was it fun?
Yeah,
Excellent.
what was the X? What was the X? Pop it out. What was the X?
X-ray.
X-ray.
X-
Xylophone.
X-ray thinking.
X-ray thinking. Oh, very nice. Thank you. Wonderful. So now take one thing from either your alphabet soup or the conversation that you had and add one thing, one word to your beginning scaffolding. Ready, go. You have 30 seconds. A word, an image, a color, something.
$30.
Mhm.
30 seconds.
Okay, thank you, Walter. Okay. And now we're going to move to our next excursion. And our next excursion is visualization, and Walter will be leading us through that. We've decided we're going to pick up our pace a little bit. So just so you know, so we just did the detour in visionizing, and if you can go back, that's right there. So you're just adding one thing, perhaps a shape. Look at your work, acknowledge it, appreciate it, add something, change something, move something around, just one little piece based on your alphabet soup. And then we have a quotation next, which is, I don't focus on what I'm up against. I focus on my goals and try to ignore the rest. I focus on my goals and try to ignore the rest. Moving on. Our next is a second excursion is in your own framework, in your own mind. Walter will be leading us through a visualization. So the next screen is actually pretty blank. And I don't know if you'd like to turn your cameras off and just listen to Walter's voice.
So why don't you just relax and maybe do some deep breathing. Let's do the 4-3-4. Take in 4 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let them out. 1, 2, 3. And take them in. 1, 2, 3. And let it out. 3, 2, 1. If you passed out, please come back. So this is a visualization, another a spin-off from some of the work that Sid did. Listen to my voice and wander off if you want to. You need the prompts, I'll give you some prompts. And I'd like to have you start with that blank screen and pull up where you are with one of your wishes that you started with, or some piece of your work in progress. Take it, don't grab it, don't hold it, just take it. Because perhaps during this visualization, it will transform into something else, and that's great. Take in whatever piece you want to start with, and take it with you. You're in a long hallway, very bright and cheery, walking down slowly, passing the walls, and at the end, there's a door. You've arrived at the door. Open that door. You can just push it, and push it with grace. Push it and see what's on the other side. I'm going to suggest something. You know what's on the other side. Go with it. You've just gone into a garden. This is the door to the garden. Across the way is an oak tree. And you're attracted to the oak tree, and you go over close. And you touch the trunk, and you rub it, and feel how that trunk feels. Push up and find a branch, and pull your hands out, and caress a leaf on that tree. Pull that leaf close and smell it. What does it smell like? What does that remind you of? What else does that smell remind you of? Release the leaf, move around the garden, and find something else, something that attracts you, like a daffodil, or a rose, or some grass. Think about the strengths that you share with that. What makes this piece of nature strong? And what is it that you share with nature? Move along. And on the side of the garden is an arch. And you decide to go to the arch and explore it. What is the arch? Is this a solid structure constructed by mankind? Or is it a gentle, nature-shaped by erosion arch? Stick your nose on it. What does it feel like? How does it make your nose feel? And inhale. How does the smell make you feel? What's it made of? And what are you made of? Walk around a bit. Take your time with the arch. Look over yonder, and you see a gate behind the arch. And you say, what if I open that gate? And because you're taking this session, you say, let me try. I'm going to open that gate. And what do I find? Maybe I find my future. Maybe I find another wish. Maybe I find somebody I love. Maybe I find a comfortable place to sit and think. Thinking about, what if I did this? What if I did that? What if I added taste to my wish? What if I put some color in it? What about if I blew a piece of glass to represent my wish? Collect that in your mind. So it's time to go now. It's time to leave this garden and come back to the session. So as you can, close your thoughts or open your thoughts and come back into the group. When you're ready, come back into the group.
And Jane, if you would go to the next slide, please. This is time for you to reflect on what you just saw. So take a few moments to journal about what you just experienced. And think about adding images to just in your journal. And then perhaps put one or two more pieces onto your artwork. So any more symbols that reflect anything that you want to collect from that journey. And then look at the piece and say, if I added music, what would a score sound like? What would that sound like? What piece of music fits this right now at this moment in time? If I added a scent, what would that scent be? Again, don't try to make meaning, just try to go with your intuition. It'll take just another minute. And please finish up what you're writing. And then, Jane, we're going to go to the next slide. You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. And as we move into our next excursion, we're going to take a little journey in musical theater. So I think it's the next slide, and then the one after that, which takes us to Broadway. And it is a musical trip through Broadway. As you're going here, collect, whether you collect images, whether you collect laughs, whether you collect lyrics, or truly anything that you want. Again, this is just what strikes you in this whole piece. And then we'll take a moment to add to our pieces as we do this, but we hope you enjoy. This is a fun one.
One moment, just getting the ad to stop playing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Go so.
Whoops. Jane, I think we lost
Yes,
it.
one moment. We had a little glitch.
Yeah.
I was trying to put it full screen for you, and it
Yeah.
stopped.
It was away. So sorry.
Well, let me just get it back.
Helping me get to the Beacon Theatre.
Vamp. Go ahead and vamp.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome and bienvenue. Welcome.
I'm getting there. Getting the ad pass.
Yeah, there we go. Fremde, étranger, stranger.
I'm getting
And if it's possible to show it full screen, that would be even better.
That's part of the problem, is then I can't see the Zoom controls.
Ah, okay.
So I'm going
But
to
maybe you just do it till the end anyway. It doesn't matter.
yes. So then we're
We'll
going
give you a moment to get out of it at the end.
So
It's the box on the right. No, farther on the right. There we go.
yes, and then I lose my Zoom. Control. All right.
That's all right.
Here we go. Oh,
One more time.
I make the big money.
Third
Where
time.
is my cane? Oh,
There you go.
Yes, but now I've lost.
No, go back to the left. I think you'll find it.
No, but I don't have when it's full screen. I can't see the controls to press play.
Just try hitting the space bar. That should start it.
I won't grow up. I won't grow up. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. Just to learn to be a parrot. Just to learn to be a parrot. And recite a silly rule. And recite a silly rule. I won't grow up. I won't grow up. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. Just to learn to be a parrot. Just to learn to be a parrot. And recite a silly rule. And recite a silly rule.
Fun. Thank you. If you could just throw in the chat. Oh, did you have something to say, Yardina? No? Okay. I would just like you to throw in the chat any phrases that you captured from that. Any lyrics, any images, anything. 22 musicals in 12 minutes. Pretty good. So just pop them in.
Rainbow Connection. You can't stop the beat. Yes, rainbow. Change in tempo. Anything is possible. Paint the town. The selection of parts of pieces shown. One day more. Rockin' the beat. Play, fun, joy. It doesn't have to be perfect. Singing in the rain. Ha, laugh and dance and sing. trip a little light fantastic with me? Love to.
Yeah, CGI is magical, isn't it? So take just a moment, 30 seconds again with Walter's ding ding at the end, to add something to your piece, whether it's music, a word. I don't want to grow up. Mary Martin, love her. Whether it's a word, an image. Yes, and those moments of YouTube ads popping up, but at least that one was from a musical, right? At least they kept the theme going a little bit.
30, 20, 28, 20.
Again, just add something if you choose to your piece.
3, 18, 17, 20, 15.
And of course, for that image, you can go to the next slide, Jane. We asked you to take the songs that we chose, but think about one or two of your favorite songs. Think about something that really has resonated with you. And any time it comes on the radio, you turn the volume up, whatever it is, and see if there's a lyric in there that strikes you. And just write it down or add that to your piece. I love that, Walter. Thank you.
It's an actual foghorn from San Francisco Bay.
Oh, very nice.
I control it from my cell phone.
Perfect. Just please give us an indication as to when you're ready. Thanks, Mary Ellen. I want to do some compositing of my budding sculpture and a cool background inspired by the 22 musicals. So nice. And you'll build on that later on today. And hopefully before the end of the day, we'll have a few more things for you to collect that will keep going with your sculpture. Yes, Walter. We haven't gotten thumbs up from anyone. Are you ready to move on? Seeing some thumbs up? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thanks to Deb for being a dancing partner.
My pleasure, Walt.
And now if we can go to the next slide, please, which says there's nothing like a dream to create the future. So hopefully your what if dreams are continuing to appear before you as you're just not judging and you're just collecting. And I think now what we'd like to do, Jane, is go to the next slide, which is our fourth excursion movement, but we're going to flip the next two slides. So I'm going to go to my movement piece first, I think, just because I think it's time for us to move a little bit. And what's going to happen in this one is the following. First of all, here, present. And in a moment, I'm going to start some music. And we're going to be we'll ask you to turn your camera off and move your chair and stand up so that you can see your screen, but no one can see you. And we're going to show some specific movements from around the world. And we're going to ask you to choose a character or a figure on the screen and to stretch into and hold the pose of whichever character or image you choose. Really stretch your body into it until we change the screen. And then again, choose another one. And then again, stretch into something else, okay? So the movement, so why don't you take a second to push your chair away, to blank your screen, and stand up and take a nice deep breath up. Stretch your arms up and down, breathe out. One more stretch up. And breathe down and out. Take a moment and just drop your chin to your chest and roll your head back and forth a little bit. Just back and forth a little bit. And then wrap your head around, just stretch out in the back. And roll your shoulders forward. And back. And now we'll begin the piece. And just choose a figure and hold the pose. And now change to one of these figures. Use all of your energy to hold the pose. Again, choose a figure. You can undo the pose and come back when you're ready.
Donna, can we have a couple of what happened for you?
Absolutely.
What happened for you?
I felt different emotion with different poses.
Mhm. Harry says elated. What a great way to stretch and appreciate art at the same time. Thank you, both of you. Yeah. So just take one moment and see if you can put emotion or movement, felt open and stretched and explored your body's flexibility. Put some of those sensibilities into your art piece. In just a moment. Walter's 30 seconds. Collect something. Okay. So now we're going to watch two different videos. They're short. They're of different kinds of movement and dance. And again, just keep collecting. And now that you've done some movement, maybe imagine yourselves doing the moves that you see on the screen. And the first one is a hip hop competition.
Ik ben lid. Langer van Cartier. Langer van Cartier. Langer van Cartier. Dat is nog niks. Brakka van Balmain. Brakka van Balmain. Brakka van Balmain.
His face.
100 flessen. 100 flessen. Veel mannen willen flessen. Jullie delen estafette. Kom niks zeggen. Als je praat, dat moet je spenden. In de VIP, ik ben met trappers. Als je wil, dan kan je testen. Wat ben je maar? Ik ben obliek. Kom uit de garage. Full of game is weak. Ik ben lid. Langer van Cartier. Langer van Cartier. Langer van Cartier. Dat is nog niks. Brakka van Balmain. Brakka van Balmain. Brakka van Balmain.
Hey, what you see? I can't be a rapper that's out here and breathing with me. I'm taking the forces of these pants and a tee. They're like, how? That don't even match. Okay, come on. I'm just from Charlotte, the biggest new artist. They wanna see me up the rub with my lawyer, fool, we dismissing the charges. You know BDB and T, we gon' pull up Infinity's challenges charge. Okay, no, we don't gotta get money with you, so we gon' get money regardless. No, I ain't taking advice from it. I'm cool on that, I got it figured out. Be crying about I can't relate because I took a bigger loss. No, I've been a boss ever since Rick Ross was the biggest boss. Got diamonds all over my teeth. I've been eating chicken. I need me some dental floss. On my watch in the air, it's no longer hot. You can go turn the condition off. I'm here. Come on. So, how you talking so low? Cause if it's right now, he try me, I'm knocking it off. I'm round past 12, flying through fast as hell. Off. I'm revving the gas, burning out. I'm showing my engine off. Straight off the rip, you know I don't wait for the drive. I go out to eat with my kids and my mama. You know I ain't gay. Believe what you see. I can't name a rapper that's out here and breathing with me.
Hey.
Check him out.
In my nature, she's better. Now give me that sweet, that. Let me tell you what we gon' do. 2 + 2, I'm gon' you. Then we gonna go 3 and 3. You go me. Then we gonna go 4 and 4. We go some more. But first,
Let's get a video going now. Okay, you can get out of this one and go to the other. So the next one is a modern Asian dance.
Oops. Sorry, one moment.
That's quite all right. Collect. Think about what you just saw, whether in the teaming or the duo.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air. Like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too hot. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too hot. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. It doesn't matter if your days are long. It doesn't matter if your nights are wrong.
We go back to the slides. A few minutes. All right. So again,
Hey,
throw in the
so put
chat.
some rhythm into your basket.
So good there. So since we went back and forth,
Yeah, no, you can keep going to the detour. There we go. No, there we go. So yes, collect something here. And we've been talking, I think we're going to shorten our day if that's okay with you. This seems to be a group that's moving quite right along. So we'll just take a 5-minute break right now, just a bio break, and coming back with some spoken word. But what we'd like you to do during your break is to break your habits. So if you have a dominant hand and you're going to be drinking your coffee, don't drink it with your dominant hand. Drink it with use your other hand for that. When you stand up and start walking around your house, generally you have a dominant foot that you step out on. Try to always step out on your opposite foot. Just figure out what your movement habits are and to see if you can maybe add a little something in breakthrough in your steps. Okay. We're going to set the clock for 5 minutes. We're going to come back. It's 11:28 my time. So we'll come back at 11:33 and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay. Thank you. break your habits now. Move, 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 and break your habits. Love the clock. Thank you.
Ah, nice clock.
Does
it have a foghorn?
No.
Well, I'll do the foghorn part.
Okay.
I love to do the foghorn.
Of course you do.
Seats would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sweep alone, sweep the streets I used to own.
So Donna, we have language, and then we have prep for the museum, and then the museum, right?
Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king's dead, long live the king. One minute I held the key. Next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of sand, pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry
I went on a bio break, Walter. You didn't
It's
hear
okay.
me.
So we have the language piece, and then some reflection, and then prep for the museum, and then museum. So, and then we can, in there, we could have a breakout room where they do a pre-share of the museum or whatever.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great.
Shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver blade, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever wanna be king? I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain. I know St. Peter won't call my name. Never ruled all this world, but that was when I ruled the
Hey, Jane, is the timer a Zoom function?
No, it's Google. I just did you search Google Timer, and then
Okay.
when you screen share, just hit the full screen.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Here we go, everyone. Come on back. Good timing with the foghorn, Walter. And if we can go back to our slides, please.
Yeah, Dana, are you still behind the yellow roses?
Maybe. Believe you can, and you're halfway there, Theodore Roosevelt. Believe you can. So whatever your wish is, think about what that's going to be as you keep becoming. And our next is spoken word. In the next slide, whoops. And in the spoken word, thank you. Oh, sorry, you were going to go to Kate Tempest. Mary Ellen has a new idea, which is making a stop action video of your sculpture to show movement. Love that idea. Yeah, so think about and look at your sculpture with the understanding of movement, right? Understanding of breaking your movement patterns and adding something that stretches you. And how do you visualize that, or how do you put that in a concrete expression into your sculpture, into your piece?
If I can add on to that,
yeah.
Think about the pose that you really felt the tension and the stress. And when you couldn't bear it anymore, you changed it. See if you can add that to your sculpture.
And now we're going to move to spoken word. And our choice this time is Kate Tempest, who, I Stop Motion. That's a great one, Mary Ellen. It's so much fun to work with that. So our chosen person here is Kate Tempest, who talks here about Shakespeare. So again, just watch, collect words, and see what you end up with, okay, at the end of this piece.
He's in every lover who ever stood alone beneath a window, and every jealous whispered word, and every ghost that will not rest. He's in every father with a favourite, every eye that stops to linger on what someone else has got and starts to widen in distress. He's in every young man that grows boastful, every worn-out elder drunk for days, muttering false prophecies and squandering their lot. He's in every complex misunderstanding that springs up between a group of friends and never seems to end, even when its beginnings are forgot. He's in every girl who ever used her wits to outsmart the status quo. He's in every vain self-admirer, every passionate, ambitious social climber. He's in every misheard word that ever led to tempers fraying. He's in every pawn that moves across the board and still remains convinced that it's not playing. So you might think his words are ancient, you might think his words are dead, but chances are you've quoted him directly if you've ever said, oh, it sets my teeth on edge. Or there's a method in my madness, or pure as the driven snow, or my hair's standing on end, or all that glitters is not gold, or I haven't slept a wink, or I wear my heart upon my sleeve, or the beast with two backs, or the word puking, which is harder to believe, or fighting fire with fire, or having too much of a good thing. You see, his pen was mightier than his sword, but still his words are like blades that sing our very names when they strike. Here's the milk of human kindness, up in arms, break the ice. Here's the green-eyed monster. His discretion is the better part of valor. And now his words with their arms around the each other's shoulders swagger to the ends of their phrases. They're proud of everything they've done, of how his pages have lasted through the ages, of how he has become a poet whose poetics have embedded themselves so firmly in the fabric of our language it's like he's in our mouths. His words have tangled round our own and given rise to expressions so effective in expressing how we feel we can't imagine how we'd feel without them. His less the tights and garters, more the sons demanding answers from the absence of their fathers, the hot darkness of a doomed embrace, the laughter of the night before, the tightened jaw of the morning after. He is in us, part and parcel of our royals and our rascals. He's not just something boring taught in classrooms in language that's hard to understand. He's not just a feeling of inadequacy when you sit for an exam. He's in every valiant woman, every pitiful villain, every sore loser, every great king, every fake tear. And his legacy exists and lives on in everything he's written, and if you listen, you will hear him everywhere. He's my Shakespeare.
That's Kate Tempest and Mike Shakespeare, a very, very popular spoken word artist. So I've just put in the chat, and this is your detour. So the phrases that she quoted from Shakespeare: a method in my madness, pure as the driven snow, my hair is standing on end, it sets my teeth on edge. All that glitters is not gold. I wear my heart on my sleeve, fighting fire with fire, having too much of a good thing. The pen is mightier than the sword, the milk of human kindness, up in arms, break the ice. Discretion is the better part of valor. We're going to ask you to go to breakout rooms right now for about 5 minutes and take one of these phrases and see if you can discuss with your partners in your breakout room how that applies to your piece, or how you can force fit it to apply to your piece. But what is it that can ring true? Or, find something that you say all the time that may not be this, or something a family member says that may not be this, to just see where it takes you to add to your piece. Okay, so take one of these things in the chat. You'll be going to breakout rooms momentarily for about 5 minutes, and we'll go from there. Okay. Doreen, are you in a room yet?
I'm with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There
That's
you go.
all right.
I will assign you.
Perhaps we need your COVID card before you can enter that room.
And Jonathan also, it looks like, isn't in a room.
Jonathan was assigned. He just hasn't gone yet.
I got you. Okay.
There we go.
Great.
He may have just stepped away.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to go peek. Is that okay, you guys?
Yeah.
This is typically the time where Beth, if she was would also be saying, all right, I'm going to run and pee. I'll be right back. So
I'm going to go get food, so I will be right back.
Okay.
Yes, Jonathan might have just stepped away.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I think the people that are here are still engaged, which is good. Walter's peeking, not peeing. I do love Kate Tempest, though some of her, she swears so much, you can't play her stuff, but that one you can, but most of them are a little controversial.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do you know that, Donna, that I'm just peeking?
Peeking? Well, I'm imagining Walter.
I'll get it.
having a little breakfast.
Mike, the chipmunk is out of the house.
Yay! When? This morning or last night or what?
Yes, late yesterday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it finally made its way out.
The saga is finally over.
Yeah, when you have to remove an air conditioner in order to. Yes. There was one time that happened a few years ago. The same thing. So this is why we know what we have to do, and it always goes to the same room. And that room faces the street, and there's a little front garden there, and that's where the cat in question likes to just again go around the perimeter. And so on like hour 8 of trying to corral and then remove the chipmunk, and this was, but an air conditioner wasn't in the window, so it was a bit easier in setup. We had the plank up, and my husband and I were both in the room sort of pushing it towards the window, and out it went, but the cat was up there. So but the thing is it did like I don't know if this reference is too old for you, but it did like a Dukes of Hazzard kind of thing, that when it went up the ramp and out the window, it happened to shoot out and over the cat. So it made its way out there. But I'm like, if this even happens where it jumps out of the window for safety and back into the mouth that brought it in the first time. So it's a series of adventures. So that was the first thing I did when we were trying to get it out. I'm like, make sure it's not out. The cat's not out there again.
Did anybody chat with Jonathan to tell him to join, or maybe Jonathan left?
He's likely away from his computer if he's seeing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He had his
Walter-
camera on before. So.
Yeah. Probably had to step away after the break,
Yeah.
during the break. Walter, did you check in the chat? Are they doing okay?
Harry was talking. I only could get into 2 chats. I don't know why that is. But Harry's talking, and he was saying, well, maybe we'll hear it. He didn't catch it all, I guess, because of the accent or whatever. And I didn't stay long enough to hear how the group might help him with that. But there might be a request to get the link, which we can just say is where is this deck going to be made available to people?
Don't care.
You know-
That's fine. Yeah.
Jane?
It's recorded, so
That's up to you. And what we can do is I will send what you sent me the PDF. I will send it to Jamie, and Jamie will load it onto Sked. And so
Great.
that's what I can mention to them when we depart, is that give it perhaps until Monday.
Right.
But it should be loaded into this page in Sked.
Yeah.
If you like, I can drop it as a file into the chat.
Why don't we see how? Oh, well, what do you think, Donna? I think that's fine. I mean, I think
that's
both
fine,
is fine.
Okay. Then I'll get.
I mean, people might want links or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get that ready right now.
because the links are in all the slides, right? So whatever.
And they certainly aren't looking for the meat of this session, because there is no meat.
Can't have your meat can't have your pudding unless you eat your meat.
You can't have your pudding unless you eat your meat.
How can
Walter William.
How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
That's right. You clean your plate, then you could have your pudding. It looks like Faith is having her pudding before her meat.
Sorry, I don't get to eat until like 5 o'clock, so I need to eat something now.
There you go.
We
So
don't. We're fine.
I saw you. Did I see you laughing at some of the Broadway clips?
Yeah, I'm a very big theater nerd, so
Okay.
Had you seen that clip before, Faith?
Yes, and I can't stop laughing at it.
Mike, do you know, when I talk about what's going to come up on Monday, do you know how to, is the Kelly, is it Siphon? Do you happen to know how to pronounce?
I don't know, but I go back to my usual job on Monday, so I'm not going to be able to be on here like all day long.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'm just, when I talk about it, I want to be able to say what the sessions are on Monday.
Yeah, I don't.
Siphon, maybe?
Don't know either.
So Faith, as a theater nerd, what is it that you like? Do you like plays? Do you like musicals? What genre?
I mean, either one, honestly. I mean, I'm part of my school's theater group. I run the backstage. So
good for you.
So you're the one that throws the cakes and holds the clothesline so they can hang. You're the one that makes sure that happens. I mean, that's what's funny in those clips is it's a combination of the theater, the formal theater, and the improv of their doing it fast and getting mixed up. And when Emma realizes as Evita, she still has her derby hat on. She takes it off and throws it, and it's funny. I mean, it's great. Okay, fine. We'll all catch up. It's okay. Fine. We got it.
All right.
I love it.
Let's probably go back. Yeah.
Bring them out.
Everyone back in a minute. And Walter, then we'll read this next quotation, and then they're going to get ready to share their pieces. We'll have to ask them to add one more thing.
And then share.
Yeah.
Got it. In the museum or prep in a breakout room and in the museum?
Well, what's your picture?
My picture is model the museum, have them do some prep, go to share in a breakout room, and then popcorn some of the shares with the models.
All right, you take it then. So let's do the next saying. Thank you. And when everyone comes back, we'll proceed.
They are taking advantage of that breakout room.
Well, there you go. That's always nice when they're deep in conversation, right?
It is great. It's so frustrating when you're in the breakout room, when you see that 59, 58, and you've still got like so much to express.
Welcome back, everyone. Nice to see you. Any insights from our friend Kate Tempest? Drop in the chat or unmute yourselves.
Well, I'll share.
Yeah.
I said for mine, all that glitters is not gold, literally in relation to my piece, because none of the glitter colors that I selected were gold.
Perfect.
But then above and beyond the literal connection, the physical connection, was the idea, and we talked about this a little more in our group, about Mary Ellen talked about that same quote. Sorry, Mary Ellen, I'm speaking for you, but in connection with this, in letting things go, in releasing things and decluttering and only holding on to what's most important. And that got me thinking more about the things that are most important aren't things that you can feel and touch. And Harry reminded us that is at least somewhat of a quote from The Little Prince.
Oh, right. That's right. Wonderful. And Christy, I see you unmuted. Did you have something to add?
Oh, I didn't realize I was unmuted. I'm sorry. I was just in absolute awe of Kate and the way she was expressing herself, and that she brought Shakespeare into the present time and to this contemporary spirit. And her movement, her body movement, her body language, the movement of the film, everything just stretched me beyond where I've been.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Christy, I would say, this time I watched the background, and where she staged this had so much energy and relevance and contemporaneity. It was really a neat way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Other comments? Anyone else? No. I agree. She has lots on YouTube. She's pretty famous as a spoken word artist. Many of her videos are have questionable language, so you can't do them all, right? But she's got lots of, I think, really modern, insightful views on what's happening in the world and what has happened in the world. So if you want to check her out, it's great. And we'll share these slides with you, and the links to the videos we've been showing will be there. Yes, and Mary Ellen is saying just watching others who perform the spoken word is fascinating. Agreed. It takes on personalities, I think, which is really cool.
Well, you know, when I peeped in, Harry was talking, and one of the things he talked about was Amanda Gorman's delivery of her poem, which was magnificent.
Yeah. The Hill We Climb, fabulous. Yeah, wonderful. So, Walter, you ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
So we're ready to get to the culmination, and the culmination is going to be a museum where you will place your own sculpture, if you wish, your own piece, your own art piece. As you wish, but let's do a little prep. I'll give you a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes or so, to put some touches. I'm not going to say finishing because I'm not sure we want to finish this, but put some more touches that are concluding and you could take into a museum. So do that on your own for 5 minutes or so, and we'll keep the time for you. And then we're going to ask you to join a breakout room and give each person a chance, if they wish, they don't have to, if they wish, to present their piece. And then we're going to come back into the total group for the final museum and ask some people to share or encourage others to share their piece. That clear what we're going to do? So we'll just stay here for 5 minutes. You can turn off your camera. We'll keep the track of the time. And just put some more touches that are concluding, but maybe not finishing. And then you're going to take it into a breakout room and share it with others if you wish. And then we'll come back and have a general discussion. Please listen for the foghorn.
Tell you I'm sorry. You don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you. Tell you I need you. Tell you I'll set you apart. Tell me your secrets and ask me your questions. Now let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming in tails, heads on the sides apart. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard. Oh, take me back to the start. I was just guessing,
So that was 5 minutes, Walter.
Cornucopia of horns. A hornucopia. Just made
Cornucopia.
Well done.
Put that in your pipe.
My work is done here.
Yeah, love it.
Yes, Jane.
So the question is, will we be able to share screens?
Jane, I think Jane can fix that for us.
I'm pretty sure that the breakout rooms were set up so that you can, I think.
So carefully embody your piece and take it to the breakout room. And I know it says partners presentations, but in the breakout room, just do an open share. If it's possible, go ahead and share screen. If not, sort of, what if the share screen doesn't work? Figure out what to do. And then, maybe 10 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and we'll have some people who wish to share or other people who encourage other people to share. If you don't want to share, that's fine, because we said this was private if you want to keep it private.
And if for some reason the screen sharing it should be enabled for everybody. They have multiple participants. All participants should be able to share and even share over each other if that's possible. If it's not working, either call for help or pop out of your breakout room and come back here in tears. And we'll do our best either way. All right.
I've found a workaround for that is you just use a handheld mirror and it works fine.
And also try to reflect on what was your original wish and what art experiences helped you add to something that you did maybe unexpected. I think would be interesting to explore. How did you stretch into something new?
All right. 3, 2, 1, off you go.
But
Walter. Hi, Beth.
Everybody's leaving because Beth is here.
That's fair.
No, it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
I don't think Harry's in a room.
Where is Beth signing in from?
4th floor of DUville campus.
Ah.
Look, there's a marketing professor.
Hi, marketing professor.
Hello.
We're on lunch break. I just wanted to check in.
You should give Beth all the A's.
Jane Fisher just said you should give me all the A's.
Give her all the A's.
All the A's. Collect
Same.
them all. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Do that.
So we've had a small but mighty group, and we've just condensed everything. So we'll be done probably 12:30.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, but they've.
How did you hear that?
So she's been listening. She's been on the screen the whole time.
Oh, God.
I have ways, Walt. I have ways.
She knows everything. Yeah,
I have ears.
I hope you don't mind that, Beth, but I think they were pretty.
I think Beth might have some
factual in
spies.
this.
I think Beth might have extraterrestrial beings.
I also wanted to make sure she knew so she didn't freak out and see only like 4 hours of recording and not 7.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be lovely to see her freak out?
It's not hard to make that happen.
We can find something else for her to freak out about. We've only just begun.
But we hope you're okay with that, Beth. Yeah.
We could take her out of the group.
Jane and Mike, remind me to message Mallory Combermel about that. Because I know that they had requested that people not come in late because they should come for the whole thing. So let them know that 6-8 hours is a long time. People don't make it on a Saturday because they got.
I think it's long on a Saturday, and we had people message us right at the beginning saying it'd only be here for the morning. So,
and we didn't have anybody come in late. Like we didn't have any people popping in town. Everybody who has been here got here.
And it is like devoted crowd. Like I'm looking at the attendee list, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
What? Deb Williams is there? Weird.
Weird. I'll have
Yeah.
you know she was my dance partner.
And Deb Williams, I mean, she's always
Shocker.
adorable, but she's on the Saturday Artist, adorable. She's got the hair up with like the flash dancey kind of shirt, and just like in her beautiful, it looks so relaxing and airy, beautiful room. And I'm like, Deb,
Did you see
Hey, Jane,
Deb?
you might
I
want to
said-
look. Jane, you might want to look at your piece that you've been developing during the session and kind of add that nuance to your own piece.
the only piece I've developed is this.
Did you see that Deb said my son just grabbed his trumpet to add to the cornucopia?
Cornucopia. It's official.
Cornucopia. It's official. It's perfect.
Bad one.
Hey, Jane, have you ever read what's on the bottom of your cup? You know, you better be careful. This is not an R-rated session.
There isn't anything there. There's a tiny little divot.
You know, if you concentrate on that for quite a while, like about as long as this session has been going on, you might see something there.
This is my Beth. Is this not me?
Coffee. Yes. Yes, it is. More than a friend.
Coffee's more than a friend.
Yeah. If you don't know, Jane's Twitter handle is Jane Needs Coffee.
And by the way, I couldn't get that from my Instagram because somebody else had it.
Rude.
Wow.
Right?
All right.
Have you tried Jane Needs Coffee now?
No, but I either want to make sure that this person isn't trying to pretend she's me, which boring, or the fact that there's another one of us. Either one of them makes me think.
Aha.
You know, if there's two, there's even more.
You know what's interesting? When you've got these virtual backgrounds on, you don't get the motion sickness of me moving around.
Yes, we
No,
do.
we can only tell by the light changing on your face.
Yes, we do. And the thing of it is, how the hell did you get that? That was a private, secret thing. Yeah, see, there you go.
I'm gonna quickly put up the one that I put up yesterday because Walter and Donna need to see it.
Yeah.
It must be really good because she has to get on the floor.
Hold on.
Oh, I know. Her other laptop is on the floor. There's no table.
No, it's the I'm on the wrong Zoom account. I'm on the.
Anybody keeping?
Oh my! That's a little scary, actually.
It's a lot scary.
Beth has ways. Beth has ways.
This is one like you guys will appreciate because you'll recognize it.
Oh, the nest.
The nest. Donna, what do you need? Do you need more Sharpies?
Yes, and I need the green ones and the red ones only.
Donna, I refuse to work with green Post-it notes.
You know what's funny is I'll pull out green Post-its and blue, like because whatever theme colors is, and they'll get like used for something.
So I'm assuming they're all able to share screens, so that's a good thing because nobody's come crying. Walter went to check on everybody.
But other than that, everything's going well.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm just
Oh,
laughing
yeah?
at you with a virtual background. That's very amusing.
Yeah, the virtual backgrounds are great.
She's gone.
I say Beth's arm is floating in the middle of the nest.
My case just popped off my computer.
It was kind of strange when you were walking because you could see there was motion and it looked like you were falling over, like in your chair, really slowly. It was.
So I checked in with one breakout room that has 5 people in it or 4 people. Anyway, they need about 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep.
I'll go check the other one. For some reason, I only have access to 2 breakout rooms. How many breakout rooms are there?
There's only 2.
Oh, that's why. Okay,
Yep.
fine.
And I squished them together because I know that originally we thought about breaking people apart,
Yeah.
but because there was some drop offs, I thought I don't want to. I didn't want to separate their relationship at this point, so I just
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect idea.
2
Great.
and 5. Beth, do you know how to say Kelly's last name for Monday? Just when I give the coming up on Monday, is it Siphon? Siphon?
I believe it's Sifan.
Siphon. Okay.
My classmate is next to me, and her first name is Kelly, and she's like,
Hi, Kelly.
I think it's Steve.
"That's how you pronounce it, Steve."
It's because, like Beth, we have ways of finding things out. And we found out that the name of the person next to you, Beth, was Kelly.
That's right. We creatively found the approach.
So, Donna, you don't know this because wing chat, but so I'm in marketing class, and during class, the professor told the story about, it was Ruth Noller, right, with the bug in the computer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So he told that story. I'm like, he's like, I can't remember the woman's name. I'm like, it's Ruth Noller.
That's right. Well done.
Oh, Jane, does Beth know the deal with the chipmunk?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
You did it.
It's gone. Yes.
So during the conference, Jane, one of our volunteers, her cat brought in a live chipmunk. Just as she's supposed to like do something.
Wait, hold up.
She needs to launch a pole, and there's a live chipmunk in her house.
So I was like, hang on.
And then she had the chipmunk in the house for the next like 2 days.
Yeah, that was on Wednesday.
Yep.
So Rube Goldberg exit machine worked.
Perfect. We had a chipmunk in the school the other day because someone left the front door open. And it freaked out all the children, of course. It's one of those.
Yeah.
It wasn't a squirrel. I think those are harder to manage. They're meaner, I think.
Yeah, this guy definitely didn't want to hang out here. He wanted out. So
Yeah.
it was just about like us coming together. We had the same goal, but we had different.
All right. We're starting back up, so
I'll take it.
you let me know what you need.
Have fun.
Bye.
Thank you so much for everything.
Adios.
I checked with the other group, and now I made a commitment to 5 minutes, so 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
Okay.
And I will show you while we're here. Do I still have it? Hold on. So, swoop. So all I did, Walt, was you just search in Google Timer and it pops up right up there, and then you can just go full screen
Right.
and start. And then
Got it. And then you share screen.
And then I share screen. Yep.
Gotcha. Nice.
That's it.
Great.
I thought Zoom was going to add a timer, but I don't know if they did or not.
Add everything else, you'd think, wouldn't they?
Oh my God. Sorry about the phone. We've been getting all these robo calls.
Warranty?
Saturday, they know people are home,
Let me talk to him. What else do I need open? I don't need a slide for the end of the slideshow. Right? No, I don't need that. That can get closed. That I need open. That can be closed. Leave. Okay, so that's it. Oops. There.
And the only slide for the next presentation is just the slide that says museum. Is that correct, Donna?
Yes, and then reflections. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll have it up, ready to go there when we come back.
Mike, I noticed you didn't put your green man suit on for the movement.
No, because I thought we were going to have more time. I thought we were at first going to do that after lunch, but then we sped everything up, so I didn't really have the time to.
And so does that mean in order to put that suit on, you have to have a full stomach?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything has its protocols. You know what I mean? I'm so friggin' tired of that, you know?
Yeah.
I want to break out, you know?
I think those rituals are great, Walter.
I don't know.
You know.
I'm trying to push for the blue morph suit to make a reappearance next year. I think it's going to happen somehow.
Great.
Well, I heard it was scheduled for next week, but you're not going to be here next week, so it had to be canceled.
Well, then nobody told me that it was scheduled for next week. So there is a breakdown in.
Yeah. Well, welcome to SIPSI. Welcome to SIPSI. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, what if you don't have information? Are you still going to be creative? You know.
I'll find a way.
Yeah, I'll take exasperation and turn it into expectoration. Donna, you missed the pairing, the wine pairing session.
I did. I was saying it's graduation week at school.
Oh.
A million things happening because we rented a tent 2 weeks ago. So we did plays, performances, musical stuff. You know, it's just every single day has been something. Thursday was kindergarten graduation. We did 2 of those, and they performed Stone Soup. The kindergartners, adorable. And yesterday was 8th grade graduation, and then last night was the graduation party. You know, pizza and etc. So it's been nutty and wonderful.
I think our 5 minutes is up. Can we call them back?
I will do that.
Walter, you'll take the processing?
Yes.
Cornucopia.
How you doing, Deb?
I'm great. How about you guys?
Great.
How's that cornucopia going there in your house?
Who got your horn? No. You put it away.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right.
There was a limited engagement. Horn. He's like at the end of the puppet show, how they used to horn. Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone.
Good to see you all. We're ready to go into the museum. Let's put a few pieces in the museum. And I'm going to ask you to share. We'll do a few. Or if you wish to invite one of your colleagues to share if you think they're a little shy, and they can either accept or say no. And as you present your piece, maybe sort of talk about where you might put it in this space here in this museum, or what other space you might need, but concentrate on your piece. Renee, would you be willing to go?
I would love to.
Okay.
This is my final piece. It started off with representations of fireworks. And I originally had expected that I wanted the glitter only in the glue shapes that I had constructed. And then I liked that it was scattered more across the page. So then I said, I don't have a fixative. What if I found a different way to keep the glue in place? So I used hairspray.
Perfect.
And then out of one of the breakout discussions came some talk about flow. So that was the word I wrote across the center here. These represented movement for me when we did the movement portion of holding the poses. I added from the song piece, I love Kermit and the Muppets. So the rainbow connection down here. And the song I referenced was Pharrell Williams' Happy. So it says, because I'm happy. And at the end, I added the pinwheel, which does spin, to remember to have fun while I'm doing what I'm doing. A dual reference down here. I love hugging. So it's my little person hugging. So self-hugs and hugging others when possible. And this is, of course, a Shakespeare connection. The pen is mightier than, his pen is mightier than the sword. But for me, a very personal connection because my business is called Soaring Pathways. And that's a representation of the work that I do with sexual violence survivors to let them know that they don't have to stay in that mode, that they can soar.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Renee. Hey, Christy, would you be willing to present?
Sure. It's kind of weird.
Great.
So, this one, I don't know if you can see it, but
we can see it. We can see it.
You can see it? Okay. So it started off as a spirograph. My wish is to find my way back into my career life after having this year off, which had all of its ups and downs and wonderful, wonderful moments. But I added these guys with the movement. Let me see what I have. This is actually an outline of a piece of glass. So this was my Chihuly.
Nice.
Oh.
So it just, I can't mount it there. So we represented that. I had expressed the colors are the colors of the chakras. I do a lot of work with healing through Reiki and acupuncture. And so there's a lot of 5 elements and a lot of chakras in here. I've been working on opening my heart and working on expressing my truth through my beingness rather than through my external expectations. So a lot of this is just, I think these turned out to look kind of like eyeballs, which wasn't meant to be, but I think that's that internal eye that's coming out. So, and then I don't remember where the feather came from. It just came. So there's some sacred geometry in the spirals and just different. It looks like chaos, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, the important thing is that you make meaning out of it, right? So congratulations. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to present or invite somebody to present?
Mary Ellen, I think you should present yours.
Okay, so I'm going to try to share my photos. So this is a quick composite that I did. I started out with the dreamlike figure that was a present given to my daughter when she was a newborn. So one of the first pictures that I took of her in the hospital has that particular sleeping on the moon. And it hung in her bedroom for years. And then I recently found it after gobs and gobs of years, tucked away in a storage bin downstairs. So it's my wish is that I could separate the clutter from the memories that I want to keep. And so this centerpiece is one of the memories that I want to keep from the time she was born until, and the background is actually roses in her backyard. She got married in her backyard almost exactly a week ago. And they did a good job of making sure that her roses were in the best shape ever. It was a very small wedding, only 14 people, and very, very lovely, very simple and very elegant. And so as I think about this, and not only as it relates to the things that she has that's still at home, but also just all the stuff I've accumulated over the years, is keeping the things that really are important and are memories that I want to keep and cherish. And then to you, Walt, I made sure I included some Lego type things with the Duplos in there. So that's my share.
Thanks. That's wonderful.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Could we go to the last slide, Jane? So we're getting ready for the wrap-up mode, and I'd like to spend a few minutes for you to make reflections and share your takeaways. And I think we could just go around, and if you want to pass, go ahead. And I'm going to put your pictures up so I can see them, and ask you to reflect on this session. And you can continue to make meaning out of your piece, or what you did with your piece, or where you're going to go with your wish. So Deb, do you want to start?
Sure. The first thing that really jumped out is this beautiful combination of the wish and what you take away from the art, whether it's spoken word, visual, dance, all of it. It's just such a gorgeous, really helpful way to articulate what you're trying to do and what might contribute and what might get in the way and how to overcome it. So I love that. And I love all the elements as ways to do that with whatever the audience, my son here included.
Thank
you. Hi, Horner. Hey, Mary Ellen, you're next up on my screen. Reflections, takeaways.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I'm so glad that you had us think about things ahead of time. And so I do some of my best thinking while on a plane. And it's been a while since I've been traveling for a full day, coming back from a location. So I had a lot of time to think about things. So that was one. So having that time to think. And then today, just experiencing the different excursions was really important, because I was kind of fighting the thing that was top of mind. I actually, when I was writing before we met, I had 3 things, and I've worked on 2 of them today, but predominantly the whole decluttering things and keeping the memories, which most of the time sends me into a panic. And I have to say, because of the things that we've done today, I'm not panicked, but relaxed, and I have a path forward.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah. Next up is Jonathan. I don't know, Jonathan, if you're there. Okay, if you're there, we can come back to you. Hey, Renee, you want to talk?
I would love to.
Reflections and takeaways.
As a former preschool teacher whose favorite part of the day was reading stories, I so resonated with the start of this session and the sharing of the What If book, which I didn't know of before. So thank you for that gift and how beautifully that set the stage for all of what we did. And then going on to talk about Sid and visionizing and this idea of going places to take away things and make those beautiful connections. One of the gifts that I got today that has built on some other things that I've gotten over this pandemic time is the realization that having limitations doesn't mean you still can't have experiences. So kudos to you and Donna for taking us on all these magnificent excursions in art and dance and theater and just so many things that I love, and opening me to even more ways to be able to share things in an online forum. It's just been a beautiful gift for me. The breakout rooms, all the different activities, and having that piece of art to remind me to move my what if dream forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great. Yes, indeed. You're on mute, Walter.
Sorry about that. Marcia, from Spain, what are your reflections?
I have to say that I gave up early on and just observed and kind of absorbed because I realized at the beginning that I don't allow myself to wish. And so I spent some time daring to write, what if I wrote that book? What if I became an actress? What if I did whatever? And that was quite freeing. My piece of art was what I kind of gave up on, probably because of the time of day that it is here. And I was just feeling really, really tired and sleepy. But I walk away with that permission to ask myself, what if? And that's a really important thing for me. Thank you.
Thanks for your honesty.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And thanks.
I see the Horner is coming in.
And just allowing yourself to do what you needed to do is just what this is about. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christy, what kind of reflections or takeaways you have?
The whole experience was so opening for me, that the allowing myself to just fully experience all of the different excursions without judgment, without agenda, to just be in it and allow it and to let it seep into me and become part of me. So I'm excited to see where that leads. I mentioned in my group that it usually takes me 2 weeks to process things. So I'm really curious about what 2 weeks from now might bring. So thank you. This was beautiful.
Thank you, Christy.
Very much. Thanks.
Harry. You're muted, Harry.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's always exhilarating to be in your sessions, Donna and Walter, and that goes without saying, at least for me. The what if that I started with was, I guess I turned to a wish to turn the sense of scarcity into abundance and be willing to take the risks that are necessary, not to be in the flow and be comfortable, but to be on the edge. And I'm sure they broke a lot of glass before they made the beautiful pieces that they created that they showed us before. So that sense of moving in that direction, going to the edge, suddenly came out loud and clear today. So thank you very much for that. And along with that, we have, at least my team has a challenge for you two, Dana and Walt. And the challenge is, what if you were to create in your own inimitable way a Sufi dance session before the end of next week? Dana, for sure you can do it. We
Sure.
tossed around with ideas like, do we do it in pairs? Do we do it in groups? Do we do it in subgroups? Or how do we do it? So I'll leave it up to your talents and capabilities to put it together, and we'll be happy to join you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the other thing that came up was, that last quote you put there from opera, do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. For those of us who have a high-end odometer with SIPSI, like we have exceeded 100,000 miles, and we are doing what we want to do now in life, the challenge is to be in it and do it effortlessly. And you showed us today, you demonstrated how arts can actually be a great guide to be able to do that, because we forget it. We get so hung up in everyday life that we forget to act out the art, the world of arts. I know I don't have your voice, Dana. I will never have it, but I can still sing.
Of course.
And enjoy that. So thank you very much for all this program that you put together, all of it. That's it for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Before we get to Yardena, who will be last, we just got a message from Jonathan. Sorry, had to be away for a while. The exercises and breakouts are good. I don't have further reflections as of yet. So thank you, Jonathan. Yardena, you get to be the last word.
Oh boy. So I as always, so appreciate opportunity to go places emotionally, intellectually, that I hover around over the course of maybe or a week or a month, and to go quickly. So all the videos and the exercises were tremendous, and they helped me add some texture to what I wish, why I haven't been able to accomplish I wish, what's standing in the way. I'm going to do some clarity mapping on wish. That's my big takeaway on this, because I need a plan, because I rely on plans. Early bird, and unless I found myself or find a keeper, it just doesn't. I just continue to. So that's my takeaway, and I'm really grateful for and you participated, and the people in my group, and just another tremendous SIPSI experience. Just thank you.
Thanks, Yardena. My reflection and takeaway is I appreciate the grace that you demonstrated as participants. It's a lovely thing. And so thank you. Donna, you get the last word. What are your reflections and takeaway?
Well, thank you. I feel grateful and appreciative, mostly that you were just willing to dive on and go for a ride and see where it takes you. And my wish is, what if you look at your piece or your journal or your reminder, whatever it is for what we've experienced this morning, and what if you spent 5 minutes each day just peeking at it for the next 2 weeks what might that look like for mapping out what could come next for you in your wishes and dreams? So thank you for doing everything you've done to participate and be part of this, but for the reflection and to just thread it through for even 5 minutes, I think can help you build on what you've started here today, as opposed to making this a discrete experience and a discrete memory. So what if?
Donna, I noticed that we have two wings here. Wing Mike or Wing Faith, would you like to say anything? Or Jane? If you don't want to say anything, shake your head.
No, I thought that this was a really nice session. Really nice thoughts, stories, videos, dances, movements, all these things just to really sort of get us to just sort of get outside of what we typically do and say, okay, let's just sort of dig more and more and more and even more, even more and even more, and just, you know, see how we can bring that into and give us sort of a nice little change up out of what's perhaps our typical sort of Saturday morning and early afternoon. So it was a nice little thing here. Very nice session.
Thank you.
Jane, do you want to say anything?
Faith, do you have anything?
You want to say anything?
I think she's trying to direct it back to me.
Well, I'll do it, but I have other things too. So,
I mean, I really enjoyed being here this morning. It was nice to go through different forms of art and see how it could reflect back to you and all of that. And seeing how everybody participated was also very cool. It's much better than the boring Zoom classes I've had for school.
Wow. That should have been the last word.
That's right.
That should have been the last word.
So I'm going to ruin it. No, what I appreciate about this session and the intention behind it, as well as really just SIPSI as a whole, is there's no visionizing aisle in Staples. When we think about these plans and making steps forward, it's always some sort of graphic agenda or bullet journal or something that is tangible, but still has this very linear, specific, prescriptive nature behind it. And so the fact that we can tie in the abstraction and the imagination of artistic influence into planning and visions and clarifying and lots of other good ing words is always something that I think really helps to bring some balance and clarity. So thank you for that. And on a Saturday morning, no less.
And on a Saturday morning, yeah. And with the foghorns and everything. Well, I would say it's been a pleasure to work with everybody as always. And we look forward to working with you many, many more times. Donna?
Absolutely. And Harry, we could sing the last Sufi song one more time here. You ready? May the blessings of God be upon you, and may peace be yours forevermore. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. Thank you all very, very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
And also, before you step off, I do want to just give you a couple different reminders. This PDF will be in Sched. I'm going to send it off to Jamie, and it will be in Sched. Look for that early next week. Monday, I want to say. Speaking of Monday, you should also, over the weekend, get your links to the next week's sessions, so be on the lookout for that. And Monday is Grow to Love Convergence, Simple and Complex Analytic Tools for those of you who may be convergence resistant. Virtual engagement with Katie Tagey, who's a lovely SIPSI human being. And so virtual engagement, what a great way that we're doing right now. You're Hired, Understanding Jobs Theory for More Successful Innovation with the lovely Sherry Prince. And Play Forward with somebody named Jane. I don't know anything.
Our CEF Jane.
So that is what you have to look forward to Monday. Check your either junk, spam, or other or updates folder, depending on the email client you use. Sometimes the links have gone there. They should be from Missy or perhaps the Creative Education Foundation. Look for them. If you can't find them, call on one of us. No more instructions, no more things. I'm going to stop the recording